Hello, welcome to day 6 of Viva La Vegan, The Power of 10, 2013 on marylou.com. Today we are going to be tackling another appliance that you might not be using. This is a rice cooker. A rice cooker takes up a lot of real estate for something that just does one thing. So if that's all you're using your rice cooker for, then it's time to take a look at what else you can do with it. Most rice cookers actually come with a steamer basket like this. You just put some water in the bottom and then you can steam vegetables right here in your rice cooker. It also, believe it or not, can bake bread. Who knew? And this is a quick bread, and I'm going to make some banana bread for you today in the rice cooker. So first of all, we need to mix up our ingredients. I'm going to start with 1 cup of unbleached white flour and 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour. In here I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I used that pink Himalayan sea salt. And we also have 3/4 cup of sucanat, which is unrefined cane juice crystals. And I'm going to stir up those dry ingredients a little bit before I add the wet ingredients. The recipe calls for adding everything together, so I will. We have 1/3 cup of softened Earth Balance brand margarine, maybe. Doesn't want to come out. All right. And 1 cup of ripened bananas, which is going to be 2 to 3 bananas. And I have a little bit of a 1/4 cup of soy milk or almond milk, or really almond and soy work the best with baking. So I'm going to add that. And then instead of 1 egg, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed meal combined with 2 tablespoons of water to make, and it makes a great egg replacement. And if you have never done this before, it is amazing that flaxseed meal turns very egg-like when you mix it with water like that. And it does work very well in baked goods. Alright, so I will now mix this all together. It says in the recipe to whisk it. So instead of a whisk, I'm using a fork because it doesn't get all stuck in the fork. But you're going to mix up your ingredients. You never want to over mix banana bread because it can get rubbery. So you just want to mix it until all of the flour is absorbed into the liquid ingredients. Now, even though the inside of this rice cooker is Teflon, I have spread a thin layer of vegetable oil in it, so to make sure that the banana bread does not stick. Almost done getting all the flour worked in here. Alright, as soon as this flour's worked in, all we have to do is put it into the rice cooker. Make sure your steamer basket is not in there. Alright, we're going to just open the rice cooker, which, as I said, has already been oiled. And we'll put all of the banana bread batter in there. And I'm just going to even it out along the bottom here. Alright, then seal it up. Or not. Seal it up, turn it on, and I'm going to push the brown rice button to cook this. Now if your rice cooker only has a single setting or doesn't have a brown rice setting, don't worry. You might have to run it 2 times in order for it to cook enough, but all you have to do is when it's done with 1 cycle, open it up and test to see if it's ready. And if not, then you would just run it through on the white rice cycle again. We'll check back with this after it is cooked. It takes about an hour.
Well, Kyra had to leave and take her boys to church, but the bread is done and she's not here, so what can I do? I want to show you what we have here. This has turned into a beautiful loaf, a cake-shaped loaf, but use some pot holders to get your pan out. You can tell that your bread is done a couple of ways. One is it's kind of pulled away around the edges, and one is that it springs back after you touch it. To get this out of the pan, it's quite simple. Just take a plate and a couple of pot holders, upside down. Isn't that easy? But I like to have the more rustic side showing, so I just take another plate.
All right, so this bread took just 1 cycle on brown rice, and when it was done, we checked it, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. And we were able to get it out of the can really easily by just dumping it out onto the plate. And let's cut into it and see how it turned out. Perfect, beautiful. Who knew you could make bread in your rice maker? It's really moist. You should try this.